tried to put the right slipper on the left foot. It's like a little thing a kid would do. Little kid. Oh, I gotta get a topper for my coffee. There we are. Oh, I like to keep my coffee warm. Oh, I might moan and groan a little extra today. So bear with me. Bear with me. I didn't get enough sleep, but I'm thankful for the sleep I got. Worked late, was up early. Have a day today. Hello, Not Original. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Diana. Hello, Nurse. Hello, Mags. Hello, Cece, Cindy, The, Fasika, Marissa, I Just, and Betty, and Big Daddy, and Glog. Glog. But anyway, I was saying, what was I saying? Thankful for the sleep I got. I don't know. Oh, I was saying, but I have a day today. And then I was saying, we probably all have days today. Even when I don't have a day today, and when I say I have a day today, it means first thing in the morning, anything seems gigantic to me. Like, I have a phone interview at 9 o'clock this morning. Got anxiety over it. Not over the interview itself, because I think the interview is going to be fine. I'm very comfortable interviewing. But just whether the job will be a right fit, and I want it. And I honestly don't think it will be. But I thought I should move forward and find out for sure. And rather than ask you guys or call my friends and ask what this job's potential is, I might as well ask the employer themselves and not look at it as that I'm trying to sell them me, because honestly, I know me would be really good at this place if it's the right fit. And I'm not sure that it is. And I guess that's what, in my mind, this call is to determine. Because if it's not a good fit, it won't work for either of us. And if it is a good fit, it will. So I guess that's what we're there to determine. Hello, ESP. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Mosey. Tanya, thank you for liking the live this morning. And good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It's Friday morning. It's October 11th. It is 5:58 a.m. Happy Friday. It's a show I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show about me talking. It's a show about good morning, Mosey. Show about me sharing some feelings. Sharing a little bit about the ups and downs we have in life. I tell you, I talk a lot about the downs, but I also laugh at them. And I almost feel it's good expressing, I bitch and moan with a very happy spirit about me. And I'll bitch and moan about the night's sleep I got, but I'm not really. I mean, I did get home from work at like 10. Didn't get to sleep till 11:30 and woke up at 5 and laid there and said, probably not enough sleep. Don't really have to do anything till my 9 o'clock phone interview. Maybe I could just go to the washroom and sneak back under my covers and drift back off to sleep. And a little voice inside my head said, "What about Coffee with Ken?" I looked down and scowled at the little voice, or looked inside my head, and I scowled and go, "Coffee with Ken, bah." But God says you should keep going forward. Bah. You say bah every morning, Ken. Fight through it. So I laid there. I thought about things I was grateful for. I almost got in a little argument with God while I was praying. I mean, again, it was kind of a friendly argument. You don't want to get in a very upset argument with God. But so it was kind of a friendly argument. A humorous discussion. And went through my things I was grateful for, started rattling them off, and then go, and coffee. Oh, Kelly L. She says she's out of coffee. What a horrific situation that would be. Kelly, I've seen you watch before. I almost would pause the show and let you run out to the store and get some and go back live. But not quite. Not quite. I'm not that dedicated to you. And honestly, the best way, that's certainly a challenge to your morning, being out of coffee. But take it as a learning experience. That you'll learn to not be out of coffee ever again. Stock up, buy a couple bags when they're on sale too for $12 or whatever. Buy several. Enjoy them. And don't make this mistake again, Kelly. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know it is not just a show about me sharing my love of coffee. You know it is also a show not just a show about me talking. It's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. I was reading a comment. Tanya says she has plenty of coffee. However, her power is off and the gas stations have no gas for the generator. Well, Tanya, that sounds like it sucks on so many levels. I'm assuming you're down there in Florida. And thoughts are with you right now. And I mean, Jesus. I'm bemoaning the lack of coffee. And, yeah. I mean, honestly, though, it's the small things. And a nice hot cup of coffee would probably do a lot to raise your spirits. And I wish I could send mine to you. But I can't. So I'm going to keep talking. I appreciate you tuning in. Sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I am excited to have my very first sip. My hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, outside of Tanya and Kelly L., that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh. The hazelnut. I'll tell you, it's the Aldi hazelnut. It is the Aldi hazelnut. Oh, I have absolutely no qualms about the Aldi hazelnut. Price was right. Well, my one qualm, and I talked about it the other day, was the bag ripped. But I'll tell you what, as far as the taste, it tastes really good. Tastes really good. Think about the show must go on. No, it's not a K-cup. It is just a bag coffee. I'll go get it for you. I'll go get it for you. Oh, I mean, it's artificially flavored. Does that scare anybody away? It certainly doesn't scare me. Hazelnut. Barissimo coffee. It was $5.99, I think. Given Starbucks bags, when they're not on sale, or $11.99 or whatever. I like the savings. Tanya's hoping Starbucks will open today. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And when it does, go in and hug the baristas. Uh, yeah. It's the little things. I mean, I'm sure it's the big things. I'm sure if your house is knocked down, that's a big thing. Or if there's a loss of life, of course, that's a big thing. But a lot of times we're able to hang our hat on the little things. And a little thing can be a cup of coffee or the hope that Starbucks opens up or, the sunrise, and of course. And, in some weirdly romantic way, and I'm sure it's easy to be romantic about the destruction and the stuff that went on in Florida and Southeast America southeastern the United States, where I'm living up here in a suburb outside of Chicago. But I'm picturing, Tanya, you going outside and seeing the sun rising and being thankful for that. Josh asked what kind of watch. It's a Tag Heuer. Amir, do I still trade stocks? No, Amir, I don't have any money. And even if I did, I wouldn't have any great desire to trade stocks. Maybe it's because I don't have any money. But about 3 years ago, I was married. I just had my little boy, Augie. And my wife at the time and I were at a wedding down in Texas. And I was watching my phone because I had some positions, but they were small-time positions. They were options I'd put. And for anybody new, I used to be a stockbroker, and I have a finance degree, but I think kind of trading stocks and certainly trading options is just sort of gambling. And I've had issues with gambling before, and I may or may not have issues with gambling again. I kind of like it, and I feel I don't know. I trick myself into believing I'm super smart when I'm right, and that I got screwed when I'm wrong. But either way, I was down there, and we were watching my option positions, and I think I was right on the underlying asset, but I was wrong. I ran out of time, and my positions ended up going away worthless. And if they'd lasted a few days longer, they would have been worth a lot. But that's a story that I don't know. Maybe it's just an excuse for why it didn't work out. Kind of it was so close, and so close just makes you more tempted to do it again. And so I don't still trade stocks. I mean, again, I don't have any money. My money's spoken for. Oh, is it spoken for? But let's have a little more coffee. Twice divorced. 4 beautiful kids. I'm working as a waiter at a fairly nice restaurant here in Naperville while exploring other options and while developing coffee with Ken. As a twice divorced man with 4 beautiful kids and 2 ex-wives, I have a lot of financial responsibilities in terms of child support. And I'll tell you what, I don't think there's a easy way to get through it unless you happen to be in a $1 million a year job. And even then, there's still probably challenges. But it's challenging keeping a roof over your head and covering your financial responsibilities and being the dad you dream or you want to be and seeing your kids as often as you can. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. And Tanya, you are right. These are things that make us stronger. But my second daughter, I hate putting a number on them. I have 4 kids. She's my second. She's beautiful. She's a cheerleader. She's an athlete. She's sweet and kind. And she's going to be cheering at a football game tonight. and I was hoping to see games earlier in the year and wasn't able to due to work, and realized if I didn't do something about it, I wasn't going to see my beautiful girl cheering at a football game this year. And I asked her a few weeks ago when are her remaining home games, because when you're a cheerleader, I guess you get to put on a bigger show at the home game. And she told me these 2 dates, and one of the dates the schedule had already been made for, so I couldn't go to that. And this date, which is today, was about 3 weeks ahead of time, and I got on my little app for our scheduling, and I requested off this day. So I'm not working today, so I get to go see my beautiful girl cheer at a football game tonight. And I'm looking forward to it. Got a little teary-eyed there. Again, it's hard being divorced. It's hard being a divorced dad. I'm sure it's hard being a divorced mom, but probably for a different way. And not being there on an everyday basis is really tough. My second ex-wife, I've got 2 little ones, a beautiful girl named Eve, who's going to be 2 soon, and my little nugget of love, Augie, who's going to be 3.5, who has Down syndrome. And I was at work, I'm getting teary-eyed. I was at work last night, and their mama sent me a video. She'd went shopping and gotten them new toothbrushes. And they lit up and were flashing, and she did a video. And there's a woman named Miss Rachel that does a lot of kids shows, and she does a nighttime or a bedtime kid show, and they do a song about brushing your teeth. And 6 months ago, I was living with them and trying to be the most hands-on dad I could. And every night before I put him to bed, we'd sing the brushing the teeth song. And always had a lot of fun doing that. And anyway, so I was at work last night. And their mom sent me a video of them, Eve staring quizzically at her red toothbrush, and Augie putting the blue flashing light toothbrush in his mouth, doing a good job, but then he pulled it out and just kind of yelled at it because he was so excited. He went, "Ah!" It was just the cutest thing. It was the cutest thing. But good morning. Thank you, Julie Flanagan. I appreciate that. But anyway. Yeah. My coffee's already cooling a bit. My coffee is already cooling a bit. Might have to get me some more. I mean, I don't have anything earth-shattering to say, so I might as well just get up and go get some more coffee, and you guys are free to do it right now. You're free to do anything you want, but I will be back here in 10 seconds with some more fascinating conversation, so hang with me. Oh. Boo-doo-doo. I'm back. I am back. One of those cups that can maintain the heat in your coffee. Well, Chip, that is sweet. Chip just ordered. He's doing Christmas shopping already. Scares me. It scares me. Scares me. It's coming quick. I mean, I tell you what. I don't know if time goes faster or slower if you do a daily show where you're kind of clicking off the days and the days become the years and what have you, but I remember doing my show a couple Christmases ago wearing a Santa's hat. And like I said, it was a couple Christmases ago. A whole bunch of different homes ago. I was living in my cute little, I mean, it wasn't that cute, but it was a tiny little ranch in a great little neighborhood in Naperville. It's before I was working. I wasn't even working at Target at that time. I think I was just finishing up my job at UPS, being a driver helper. And being a driver helper, right as my real estate career was ending, and I had absolutely no cash flow, and I do mean absolutely none. And I was going through the hardest period of my life, and I think Julie Flanagan, who's watching right now, might get calls in the middle of the night going, Julie, I'm not feeling good. That's me in my scared voice, or my not feeling good voice. She talked me off the proverbial ledge. Thank you, Julie, for doing that. And everybody else that I reached out to during those times, because those were certainly difficult. I mean, it's still not easy. It is still not easy. But the sheer terror and the really negative thoughts are gone. And again, I was working at UPS, making just a few, I don't know, just for a seasonal job, to try and get some cash flow as my real estate career came winding, and winding's a nice way to put it. In reality, it came crashing down. But I won't go into any of the details because they involve other people. And I'd rather take total responsibility for myself. Because when you take total responsibility, you can do something about it. But if you're blaming other things or other people or whatever, you can't really do anything about it. It's out of your control. Not Original said she watched back then. Yeah, but Not Original, you weren't getting the gory details. I mean, you might have been reading between the lines and known what was happening, but boy, I will tell you what. And it was good. I think my real estate career had to come to a fiery, crashing end. If it didn't, it wouldn't have ended. And kind of like relationships, a lot of times they have to end in an explosive ball of fire, a big fight, or an affair, or whatever other reason a relationship might end. Some dramatic event that causes that to end, or otherwise they wouldn't end. And if my real estate career didn't end in a fireball, I might still be slogging through trying to get my name out there and help people buy and sell homes. And I don't think that was the path I was intended for. So despite the challenges, because I was facing challenges even as a realtor, even getting big checks occasionally, keeping up with taxes, keeping up with child support, keeping up with mortgage and what have you, by the time that big check got divided up, there was no big check left. And you were just hoping you'd have another big check coming in the next month. And sometimes you would, and sometimes the months would be good, and you'd get in a little groove, and you'd think you've got it all figured out, and then, I don't know, you wouldn't. A month or two would pass, and, you'd start worrying and praying and hoping that somebody reaches out and needs to buy or sell a home. Usually they would. Sometimes they wouldn't. So anyway, it was 2 years ago, and I was living in a cool little home, and working at UPS to get some cash flow going for Christmas and try and pay my bills. I was making $18 an hour working part-time as a driver helper, which wasn't a horrible gig. I mean, the money wasn't enough, but I actually considered doing it again this year. I enjoyed a lot about it. Something nice about that time of the year and bringing packages to front doors of people that are excited to see a package coming their way. And again, this was after 17 years as a realtor, when I used to walk up to doors to knock on them and see if they're thinking about buying or selling so I could go to work for them. So it felt kind of rewarding bringing up, a package. Felt like I was Santa Claus. And in some ways I was. But anyway, I was working, I don't know, 20, 25 hours a week at that time. Good morning, Kayla. And delivering packages, probably $250, maybe $300 a week. It doesn't go very far. It does not go very far when you don't have any closings those 2 months and your rent is $1,800 and you got every other bill to pay for. So I said, enough with real estate. Enough with real estate. MLS dues. You pay like $1,200 a month to keep your license $1,200 a year, which is divided into two chunks, one in like June and one in like December. And I might be wrong on the months. But either way, it's like $600 twice a year you send to the Realtor Association, which is not a problem when you're rolling in it and you're getting closings and you're feeling like you've got it figured out and you've solved the challenge that is real estate. But if it's in one of those lean patches, when your real estate career's crumbling around and the snow's about to fall and people don't seem to be wanting to buy and sell quite as quickly as they used to, or your buyers can't find the right home, or if they can, it's one they can't afford, or your sellers aren't quite ready to list, and you're supposed to send $600 off to the Realtor Association, but you're also supposed to send $600 or $1,000 off in child support and rent and everything else. I don't know. Again, it ended, and not everyone really knows just how fiery, crashy the end of my real estate career was. Oh, but there was fire and there was crashing. But again, I think for me, I'm pretty determined and have more grit than maybe I give myself credit for. And I got to be dragged out kicking and screaming, or else I won't leave. And let me tell you, I went out kicking and screaming. I really did. I remember venting to a woman, a very kind woman at the Main Street Organization of Realtors, which is the local Realtor Association. And I was in my car in my garage, and I was just screaming to her at something that was going on. And I was going, look, I'm not mad at you. I so apologize. I just need to get it off. And she goes, it's okay. It's okay. You can tell me. And I was going, bah! Bah! A few days later, I brought her a coffee with Ken mug. Wonder if she still has it. Bet she does. And yeah. But anyway. And then the fun did not end. The fun did not end. The fun did not end. Finalized a divorce early, like in February of that year. And believe me, the fun didn't end there. And tried to get everything worked out. And I just don't know how you can go through a divorce and keep your sanity about you. Yeah. And I struggled to keep my sanity about me and started seeing therapists and leaning heavily on friends and consistently going to church and believing that things happen for a reason, even though I didn't see what that reason was or why it would be. And fought off the darkest urges during that time period and barely kept afloat. But talked to some good friends, and I'm lucky to have good friends that kept me going, and got a job at Target that gave me a direction, and worked full-time stocking shelves at Target for $15.50 an hour, which added up to, I think, $1,900 a month, could it have been? Let me do the math. 40 times 15 is 600. Yeah, $1,900 a month-ish after taxes. And 2/3 of it, which was spoken. The sound of the toilet flushing and Ken's smiling face Imagine that. Float. Getting sucked down the proverbial toilet going, good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. As the toilet dragged me down. Like a little poop getting flushed away. Oh, but the fun didn't stop there. No, the fun did not stop there. But anyway, let's fast forward, because Julie turned it around and said my trip to Yellowstone was a game changer. And it really was. Because again, I got more advice than I want. And I'll just tell you, until you walked in another man's shoes, you shouldn't judge. Because you don't know what's going on in other people's lives, or the challenges they face, or what they're dealing with. And I was dealing with more than I thought I could handle, more than I could handle. And that's kind of how I found my way to faith and going, I can't possibly cope with all this without believing in something. And I found myself going to church and bringing my son Augie on Sundays and singing along with the music and crying while I'm holding Augie, or crying while I'm listening to the message at church, and feeling like the words that were being spoken were meant for me, specifically for me, and maybe they were. And continuing on and crawling through the muck and the mire that goes along with divorce and career change and uncertain times. And realized about 6 months ago that I needed to do something real quickly, and was offered an opportunity to go out to Yellowstone and be housed for $500 a month and fed for $500 a month, living in a national park and working as a waiter at 55 years old. And I didn't know if I could do it, or if my body would hold up, or if it'd be financially good, or whatever. But I rode out there and started working, and worked there for 2 months, and realized, despite the kind of loneliness that living, I'll tell you what, it was lonely as heck for me. Lonely as heck. Felt like a work camp, and in some ways it was a work camp. Yeah, you're living in the mountains, and there's beauty all around you, and the people are paying tons and tons of money to come where you are, and you are where they want to be. When you're not where you want to be, it's a lonely experience. And when you're working a shift or two every day, and the free time you are just resting from work and waiting to go back to work, there were tough times, but there were times for me to get my feet set under me. And I was able to do that, and realized, despite the kind of chaotic situation at work, because it was a seasonal job, and it's really hard to run a restaurant in a professional manner on a seasonal basis, with all new staff, including management and cooks, and everybody was new. It's hard to offer the level of service that I'd like to be able to offer at a restaurant I'm working at, for sure, or any business I'm working at. But we did a pretty good job, and I enjoyed certain aspects of it, and I realized I was good, and realized my kids needed me back here in one way or another, and came back home, and have been working at a restaurant here in Naperville since that time. Thought it was kind of the answer. Somebody said, did I say $500 a month was all I made? No, Todd. If I said that, I was incorrect. $500 a month was what I paid for the housing and the food in Yellowstone. So, yeah, it was a cheap place to live, and there was nothing to spend your money on. And especially when you don't drink. I think various employees would go out to the employee bar and spend half of what they made that night. but I was making good money and working crazy hours as a waiter. And when you work crazy hours as a waiter and the restaurant is always busy, uh, uh, you make a lot of money. And I was able to make some money and send some uh, support off to my ex-wives, and save up a little bit for myself. Chris says, why not trade again? Chris, I'm getting people saying that a lot. And I have a brother that's still in the business, and I don't want to tell him my opinions. But the more I hear that, the more I'm terrified that the people that are trading right now are used to a stock market that does nothing but go up. And I don't watch the market very closely, but every time I turn it on, yeah, there might be days intermittently, a couple days a week, where it goes down a little bit. But every time I look at it, the Dow and the NASDAQ and NVIDIA and all these stocks are at new highs. And I have people hopping on asking me, why don't I trade again? And that makes me wonder, makes me think that maybe people asking that think it's a little too easy. And I know it from personal experience. I know it from personal experience that when you think it's too easy, things are about to change in the market, and things are about to change in the market. And if the market's going up every day, yeah, it's easy to feel smart. But oftentimes it's not because you're smart, it's because the market's going up every day. Which job did I like best? Target, Yellowstone, or where I am now? Well, Target was good for a while. It was good being productive. I was a realtor again for 17 years right before it. The money wasn't close to enough. I was working full time. Wasn't able to pay any of my bills, basically, any of my bills. And it led me, although it kind of stabilized me and gave me a budget for the first time in my life, because I knew I'd get $2,000 every month. And I go, okay, well, $1,200 of it is already gone. So that leaves me $800. What can I do with $800? I'm going, car payment's $600, rent's $1,800, phone's $100, food, everything else. Can't do much with $800. So without going into details, just imagine the rest. I kept my phone. And, but it was good because I went in every day and I felt like I had purpose. And I was stocking shelves in the cereal aisle. And every day I knew I'd go into the back and roll out these carts and rip open these boxes and fill up the cereal where it had to go, and the excess would get stored, and then I'd do it all again, and I'd try and keep my aisle as stocked and answer the questions for the Target employees as much as I could. If I would have started there 30 years ago, I think I could have maybe enjoyed working there, but I don't think I'm meant to be an employee, honestly. I don't think I'm meant to be an employee, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. I struggle because I think I have all these ideas, and I think I do have ideas. I don't know. They're my ideas. I like them. But Target's going to do it Target's way. And Target's way works because it's a great store, so they're not going to change for me. But either way, it was good for what it was. It was good for, I needed a job, and it was a job, and it allowed me to the beginnings of formulating a plan. Did I get along with coworkers and my bosses? Yeah, I think I did pretty well. I mean, not all of them. There's a lot of employees there. I actually felt Target was kind of a lonely place to work for me. You'd see people and you'd be friendly with people, but they'd be down there doing their thing, stocking the frozen foods or stocking the coffee aisle, but you'd all be kind of doing your thing. I really think Target feels like you're a bee in a beehive, and you're all going about your work kind of as a group, but separately. And it felt kind of strange to me that way. I knew there'd be people in the aisle next to me doing not the exact same, but almost the exact same thing as I was, but not at the same time or not together at least. And I felt it was a little lonely, and there were times I felt like if I could have fallen asleep, if I found a soft spot to fall asleep hidden away in a dark corner, nobody would have known where I was. And there's certain aspects of that are nice. But then again, it felt like, how much do I matter, And I certainly struggled with that feeling because I like to matter. Don't we all? So that's the Target job. Yellowstone. I like my today's job by far the best. Where I'm working today is by far the best. I don't know if it is I don't think it's a full-time job for me. Just because they have a lot of employees they need to give hours to, and I need to work there probably 6 nights a week to cover my expenses. And I don't know if they don't have enough shifts for me to work 6 nights a week, and I don't have enough I needed to take off tonight to go see my daughter cheer. And I needed to take off last Saturday to see my other daughter because she came into town. So I like it. I enjoy it. I'm good at it. I like the people I work with. And the money's pretty good as well. Yeah. Yellowstone was the best money and the cheapest expenses, but the loneliest experience. Again, staying in a dorm with roommates and working like a breakfast shift and waking up at 6 and working till 11 and then going back to work at 4 and working till 11 at night was tiresome. And although lucrative and busy, was tiresome. And glad I'm not there anymore. It just feels great to be here, even though here's right now is an extended stay. And but here gives me an opportunity to have a phone interview at 9:00 today, because there's companies and businesses around here that are hiring and need things, and there's coffee shops to go to, and there's people to see, and there's things to do, and there's movie theaters. I tell you, one weekend, when I had 2 days off, and I took a big ride around Wyoming and Montana on my scooter and spent a couple days out of the park. And it just felt so good that day. I pulled into West Yellowstone, which was about an hour and a half from where I was staying in Mammoth Hot Springs, and seeing a movie theater, going, holy smokes, I could go see a movie. I didn't even go see a movie, but I could. And it felt so good to get out of the park, because in the park there's tourists, and there's your hotel, and there's your restaurant, and there's your dorm. And, I don't know. I guess I wasn't that big into hiking. And if you're not that big into hiking, and you're there to work, yeah. Amir, I want to read your question, but I almost can't, because I don't like the grammar. Todd asked, do I have an interview today? Yes, I do. I do have an interview today. It's at 9:00, and it'll be just a phone interview. And again, I don't think it's the opportunity that I'm looking for. I'm not going to go into any specifics, but I think I'd be great at the job if the opportunity was right, but I'm not sure there's really an opportunity. I bought pipe dreams before, and in some ways, I think for me, the real estate business was a pipe dream, and it works for maybe 5% of the people that do it, and probably the job I'm interviewing for today works for 5% of the people that do it. And I can't afford to be hope to be one of the top 5% in any given field, Yeah, I just can't do that. And I'd rather know I'm going to struggle waiting tables than hope for some pipe dream. job. Although I say that, and in the back of my mind, I'm going to really, I think what I'm best at is content creation and talking to my phone and engaging with an audience. And I think that's the long-term end to my plans. Posted a video 2 days ago on TikTok and made $9 the first day from it. And they haven't told me what I made yesterday, but I'll bet it'll be $50. And it was from a video I did a few days ago, and it was just a 7-minute clip that's been seen, I don't know, maybe 60,000 times already. That's been seen for 2,000 hours on TikTok. And I don't know, might end up making $100 for a video. And I know you can't do that much with $100. But it's a start. And every time I check back in and share where I'm at and share I look at where I'm at and go, okay, well, I made $300 in September on social media. It's not a lot of money. But it's more than it was 6 months ago. Chugger says, have I tried car sales? I don't want to try anything. I want to, the phone interview I have today is high-end car sales. And I don't know from the research I've done if there's really an opportunity there. But I'm going to ask them. I'm going to ask them, how your salesmen do. How much, how long till I can expect, if I work hard and have a good attitude and do a good job, till I, can expect to make X number of dollars, because I need X number of dollars. I know there's a lot of jobs that have a 90-95% dropout rate that are hardcore sales, and I've done that enough. And I might just not be that good at sales to make it into the top 5% of an industry in sales. I think by personality I can be top 20 or top 15%, and by sheer will. But if you need to be in the top 5% and you're in the top 20, you're scraping by. And I don't want to scrape by anymore. So anyway, it's Friday morning. It's about 6:45. I'm enjoying my second cup of hazelnut coffee. It was hard getting out of bed today, but again, I said a little prayer, said some things I was grateful for. And as always, I finished up my gratitude list with I'm thankful for the coffee. Do I feel like I have a decent support network? I have a fantastic support network. I'm blessed with a lot of friends, and family that care about me a lot and love me a lot. So I'm blessed with that. So thanks for asking. Todd says, regardless, I hope my interview goes well. I'm sure it will, Todd. Again, I think I'd be great at, Chugger asked if I've tried car sales. I think I'd be an amazing car salesman. I'm outgoing, I'm hardworking, I'm friendly, I'm smart. I love the smell of leather. I love the excitement of driving a new car. But I'm not sure, just from the little research I've done, that the average car salesman makes as much as I thought. And yes, I'd like to be better than average, but I make fairly decent money waiting tables, to be honest. And I don't have to worry about, hard months or what have you. I know I'm going to make X number of dollars every night. So I couldn't leave that job to try another that put my roof at risk or my financial responsibilities at risk. But what I can do is keep going forward, keep waiting tables, keep taking every shift I can, keep exploring every opportunity, such as this high-end car sales position at 9 o'clock. And just see if it's right. And see if it's right. And we'll see. Yeah, I know, Frozen Lands. Most car salesmen get paid by commission. No, I understand that, Frozen Land. Frozen Land's a funny name for somebody. I wonder if they live in the Arctic tundra. They live in the northernmost, just south of the North Pole. Well, Todd, I appreciate that. It's taken 56 years to develop my mindset, so I appreciate that. It's taken a lot of bumps and bruises and a lot of faith and a lot of moving forward to have my mindset. There were times in my life I'll tell you, Todd, if you want to have my mindset, I don't think you could do it while you're drinking alcohol or doing drugs. Because if you're drinking alcohol, it's too easy to hide from your issues and bury your issues in a bottle of beer or whatever. And I think that's where I was most of my life. All right, well, good for you. That's where I was most of my life. And I wouldn't face my issues. So now I'm going, okay, well, I'm scraping by. I worked late last night. I'm up early this morning. I got a 9 o'clock interview today. Going to see my daughter cheer today, It's doing pretty well. Got a roof over my head, not the roof I want. Not seeing my kids as often as I like, but it's what I can. And moving forward a little bit every day and smiling. And I did see, by the way, I did see a job that interested me yesterday. It was an assistant store manager at a coffee shop. And, I've never really managed a retail or a restaurant at all, but I've worked in a lot of restaurants and I've done a lot of management. The pay wasn't knock the cover off the ball type pay, but it was probably enough. It was probably enough, and it interested me. And I go, hey, I could do that. And I wouldn't want to be an assistant store manager forever. I'd want to move up the corporate ladder and be CEO of the company. And I would expect to be in 2 years. And I'm going to have to warn them if I do get an interview with them. Hey, be warned. I'm 56. I don't want to be an assistant store manager for the next 20 years. Is there upward potential? I think I could do a really good job. I think I could really love that. I think I could really love working in a coffee, a nice coffee shop and managing people and working hard and having something to do. I think I could enjoy it if there was upward mobility, possibly. What is my preferred coffee? Well, Sandy, I appreciate the question. My preferred coffee is the cup of coffee I have in my hand. Today I'm drinking all the hazelnut, but in a perfect world, it would be the pumpkin spice, which is a seasonal coffee. This year I've been drinking a lot of Starbucks pumpkin spice coffee, but I think all pumpkin spice coffees are pretty good. But Aldi, when I was in an Aldi yesterday, and I said, hey, I'll try some of their coffee, I picked up this hazelnut, and it's pretty good. Kim, I don't know if it'd be fun, but I think I could be really good at it. I think I could enjoy it, and I think I'd be really good at it. One of the words, I think I'm motivational. I think I'm positive. I think I'm hardworking, and I think I'm friendly. And I also think I know I have expectations and have the ability to motivate people and hopefully encourage people and get them to do things. So I think it could be good. Again, the money would be fairly okay. Wouldn't be great. Might be a lateral move financially from what I'm... I think I would, Julie. It might be a lateral move financially from what I'm doing now. But I think I could still do Coffee with Ken and build up Coffee with Ken while I'm working there. Good morning, Mike. Is the interview today over Zoom? No, it's a phone interview. Luis said, so you're not trading anymore? No, I'm not, Luis. I talked about that earlier. I'm not trading anymore. I hope I don't. Yeah. The video that I did that got seen by a ton of people, well, thank you, Conga. I mean, it's there. Go watch it. It's a couple days ago. It's been seen a lot of people here on TikTok by like 60,000 people. 7 minutes long. I think it's a funny little story. La Bamba said trading destroyed his life. Well, La Bamba, when you use the word destroyed, that seems so final. And I'd encourage you to change that view. And if you can change that view to trading taught you some life lessons, I think you'll have a lot healthier attitude about it and be able to move forward. But if you're going to say trading destroyed your life, that seems so final. That seems so final. And it didn't destroy your life. It kicked your ass for a period of time. Yeah. So, I'll just say change that attitude and your life will change. Oh, well, that's sweet of you, Todd. It's not totally, Todd just said this may sound out there, but I think you'd be an amazing therapist. I appreciate that, Todd. I think Coffee with Ken is kind of joint therapy. It's me talking about my stuff and being open enough about my stuff that people watch and feel comfortable sharing their stuff, because most people would be embarrassed to say they're struggling financially or they're addicted to alcohol or they're fighting with their wife. But I just come out and talk about it all, and I think it makes people feel comfortable and feel not alone. So honestly, rather than maybe sit in a room one-on-one with one person in a room, I think I can do this in mass. And I got 48 people watching that must find some value in what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to post this video on various social media platforms, and maybe a short or a reel or a TikTok I do from this video might be seen a couple million times in a month or so. And I think Coffee with Ken is what I meant to do. And I think the rest of it is allowing me to do it. And me waiting tables, I enjoy it, and the money's okay, and I like the people, and it roughly covers my financial expenses while I build this. Oh, well, that's sweet of you saying, Marge. I don't know, but I appreciate you saying that. La Bamba, I could talk more about that. La Bamba, who said trading destroyed his life, said it drove him, and I'm assuming it's a him, drove him into a deep depression. Yeah, well, I could see that. It's okay to get depressed. You just don't want to stay there for too long. Kim Williams, it's not a Starbucks that I'm applied for yesterday. Kim Williams is here in Naperville, and she said there are several new coffee shops around town that are not Starbucks. Yeah, I think Starbucks opened. I think there's some issues with Starbucks. I started going to a Pete's Coffee here in Naperville, and I go there almost every day now and enjoy it and like the people that work there, and it's clean. And even though it's more expensive, I go to Pete's. And for a guy that's short on money and tends to be frugal, I think it's a lot. It says a lot that I, really don't go to Starbucks very much anymore. Luis said he trades with a few friends, but they're very consistently making money daily, but it's hard. Well, I'll tell you, Luis, the market goes up every day. The market goes up every day right now. And when I say every day, don't tell me it went down yesterday, and I don't know if it went up or down yesterday. But I'll tell you what, I don't watch it very closely. But once a week I check in, and the Dow's at an all-time high, and the Nasdaq's at an all-time high, and they might not be at their exact high, but they're sure close. And they keep making new highs, and they keep going higher, and it's great while it lasts. But I'll tell you what, your friends probably won't be smart enough to get out while they still can. And the next time the market goes down, it may not just be a dip. It may be in the start of something big and go down for an extended period. And I just tell you, I've been through that. And suddenly you realize you're not as smart as you thought you were. You were just the beneficiary of a market that was going up almost every day. Mikey said, you had a kid at 55. Can I ask how old my wife was? You can ask, but I'm not going to tell you. She was younger than me. What do I do at Pete's? Dave Mason wants to know. Well, yesterday I applied for a couple jobs at Pete's. I talked to a guy from the Ukraine for a bit who came up to me and wanted to know about Coffee with Ken and see if I offered him, had any advice for him. And I edit some videos, and it's my social outlet. It's the one thing I do. It's the one thing I do, you know. It's $4 or $5 a day. I don't go to bars. I don't drink. I am living as frugally as I can. And I enjoy going to Pete's and sitting there and talking to customers or talking to the employees and drinking some coffee and editing some videos. So that's what I do at Pete's. And this week I've been sending out applications while there, working on my resume, developing it into, I think it's the perfect resume. I bet you there's a misspelled word in there somewhere. No matter how many times you proofread your own stuff, if it's your own stuff, you don't catch it because it just seems right. So I'm sending out all these resumes and I misspelled my name or something. And they're going, wow, this guy's a fool. We're not going to hire him. Well, Bob, I am in the U.S. and it is Friday morning. I'm outside of Chicago. And Frozen Land asked if I use Indeed. Yeah, I'm on Indeed. I don't know how productive it is. Well, I guess I found a high-end car job on Indeed, and I applied, and I have a 9 o'clock interview with them today. So to say Indeed doesn't work, I mean, it did that for me. I have an interview with a company I may or may not want to work for, or an opportunity I may or may not want or may not fit today from something on Indeed. So it must work a little bit. So anyway, I want to thank you guys so much. Hey, thank you for following the creator. We're having a nice show. It's hard signing off with a big crowd. I mean, a fairly good crowd. Got 40-some people watching. Almost signed off. Probably should sign off. It's 7 o'clock right now. I've only gotten 5 hours of sleep. Only got 5 hours of sleep. Wonder if it'd be beneficial to me to try and cuddle up under the covers and see if I can drift off for a few minutes. Or if I'll wake up and be more foggy minded than I am right now. I mean, I think I'd do fine on the interview. I'm going to do fine on the interview. The only thing is, I tell you what, if you get comfortable in your own skin, it's a powerful feeling. And you leave the need or the want or the desire to impress everybody or to tell everyone you're great and just be okay with who you are. It's a really powerful feeling. Because I'm going to answer the phone when the guy calls, and I'm going to be ready. And I've got plenty of questions because I'm naturally curious if it's going to be a good opportunity. And I'm going to be myself because I know myself would do a dang good job if the opportunity's right. And I'm not saying it's because I'm great or I'm cool. I'm saying you guys can do it too but you have to be comfortable with your own in your own skin and realize that you, as you are and who you are, the best version of yourself offers something to the world. And I think you might not be at the best version of yourself today, but if you start heading in that direction and get a little better and get in better shape and being a little healthier and being a little kinder to yourself. La Bamba says he needs help. Well, La Bamba, the help has to start coming from within. And again, we've talked just a little bit on this show. You said that trading destroyed your life. If you believe your life is destroyed, no amount of help somebody else is going to give you is going to make a difference. So you're going to have to change your attitude about your life and realize your life is not destroyed. And that no amount of help I give you or anybody else gives you is going to do anything for you till you realize your life is not destroyed. And that you find a lesson to be learned from trading and realize that, hey, maybe you don't like it. Maybe it didn't work out well. Maybe you got financially crushed. And believe me, I've been financially crushed. Well, Obama, it's never just trading. It's a bunch of stuff. It's a bunch of stuff. But apply that. We don't need to go through that you got in a fight with your girlfriend or that you're addicted to this or that you suck at bowling. It's a bunch of stuff. And a bunch of stuff. Cannoli Jones says that's a terrible take. Well, Cannoli Jones, stop watching me then. Stop watching me. Having a support system is key to receiving help. You got to want it. You got to do it. It's got to come from within. It's got to come from within. You know, you can bitch and moan to your friends till you're blue in the face. But if you're not going to pull yourself back up, it ain't going to do anything except drive your friends away. Yeah. Hey, Ronnie, thank you so much for following the live creator. I appreciate you. So, keep drinking. Yo-Yo Ma joined. The world famous cellist. Had nothing better to do today. Sure, La Bamba. Give me a resume question. I don't know how to put together. I'll tell you what, I think too many people worry too much about their resumes. I think my resume looks really good as it can. But I think people spend most of the time tweaking their resume and not applying for jobs. I think if you spent more time applying for jobs and less time tweaking your resume, you'd get a job sooner. Dave Mason, have I ever thought of delivering for Amazon? Only as a passing thought. It wouldn't cover my financial responsibilities, and it would, no, I don't want to deliver for Amazon. How do I fill my resume when I was self-employed for so long? I don't know. Start filling it. Put down what you're doing today first and then go, okay, well, that's everything I can write about what I'm doing today. And then I'm going to go back and write about everything I did yesterday and everything I did 6 months ago and everything I did 10 years ago. And keep going. But again, don't worry so much about the resume as applying for jobs. If you're looking for a job, best way to find one would be applying for one. Oh, feels good. Feels good. I think it starts with being comfortable in your own skin. Alexandra Hope said, and who you know, networking is key. Yeah. But again, I think if you're bringing the best version of yourself, if you're bringing the best version of yourself, I think that's key. So, get comfortable with who you are, what you're doing, and the direction you're going, and everything else will take care of itself. So, yeah, it's Friday morning. I'm excited about my day. I'm excited about my coffee. I'm excited about the fruit I have over there, and the breakfast I'm going to have, the 2 hours I have between now and my 9 o'clock call. I want to thank you guys so much for joining on this Friday morning and following along in my little journey. And, yeah, sharing a cup of coffee with me on a Friday morning. I so appreciate you guys. I so appreciate you hopping on. And want to thank you for joining, and hope you're having a great, great week, and hope you had a great night's sleep, and hope you're excited about your day. And the best way to be excited about your day is move forward in the right direction and not focus on the crap that life throws at you, but focus on going and turning the ship around and heading in the right direction. So, again, I want to thank you so much for joining today. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.